What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the lab with another quest build. I'm finally bringing y'all a prospect, the quote-unquote worst build in the entire game on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. But this version right here is going to be 6'11", and it's a big man prospect. This thing has shades of like Matt Geiger, Scott Williams, Harvey Grant, and Irvin Johnson. And I'm not talking Magic, I'm talking Irvin Johnson. I took this as a bare naked 60 out to the old gym and low-key got some wins. So if you have the stickwork and the plums, anything's possible. But I don't know, who's gonna be on this build. But I wanted to bring it to y'all because this is one of the rarest things that you'll see in 2K22 Next Gen. So we're gonna jump right into it. You're gonna be a center or a power forward. You're gonna be 6'11", 262 pounds. This is very similar to my first ever undiscovered interior big hatch. This is this blueprint specs that I found that off of. So this thing's an absolute freak of nature, but again, it's arguably the worst build in the game. So you're gonna get your wingspan to a 7'6", and then body shape built. And follow along to a T because these are very specific. If you tinker literally anything, it might change the name to a rebounder or a finisher or a multi-position defender or a paint defender. So just follow along and then tinker at your own discretion. Close shot, we're going to get this to a 79. Your driving layup, get this to a 77. Get your driving dunk to a 71. Max out your standing dunk, so it is kind of a freakazoid inside, a little jihadi white. And then you get your post control to a 69. You can't go higher than that, or it changes the name, I'm pretty sure. And then, so you're going to have 28 finishing badges, Hall of Fame fast twitch, you're going to be able to dunk inside. You're not necessarily a post ISO player, but this could be a nice off-ball, dunker. So if you have someone set you up, could be a nice build. You will be able to yam on this build 100%. So it's nice in that regard. But then going on to shooting, you get your midi to a 75, 3-ball to a 76. Can't go higher than those. Obviously, that's a very rare threshold. Then get your free throw to an 87. So again, if you're nice behind the sticks, you're going to be able to hit on this build. And it is very satisfying greening with a prospect because people just don't respect you. Don't be disrespecting me like that. I can hit this midi, especially if you're playing with guards that have a little bit of dimer in their pockets. So 19 shooting, not terrible. Hall of Fame fadeays, gold snipes, silver allocation. This build is definitely playable on the offensive side of the ball. Now playmaking, you're going to get your pass accuracy to a 66. Don't go higher than that, or I think it becomes like facilitating 4 or 5. Max out your ball handle, max out your speed with ball. And then your interior defense, get it to a whopping 55. If you go to 56 to get bronze brick wall, it will change the name. So you don't even get bronze brick wall on this build, but that's one of the intriguing features of how many plums do you have to have basically no interior D and no bronze brick wall. And then you'll see the rebounding in a second, but you're going to max out your perimeter D, get your stealies to a 69, max out your blocks. So, you can rim protect on this build for sure. The weak side blocks on this thing are menacing, especially the kicker on this build is in the physicals. But your offensive rebound, get it to a 57, and then your defense rebound, you can get to a 54, but you cannot go higher than that. Similar to the interior big, it changes the name to a rebounder, which is another super duper rare name. And I'm sure you could actually tinker with the rebounding a little higher than that to make it a better actual rebounder. But imagine a rebounder with 55 defensive rebound, or imagine a paint defender with 56 interior D. Ridiculous. You'd think the name would give you a rim protector on this type of spec, but it doesn't. So anyway, 14 defensive badges. You're a nice rim protecting build. You can play perimeter D. You can get stealies. You can't necessarily post lockdown anything, and your rebounding is suspect, so you're going to have to maneuver and get an ass on somebody. But that's the point of a prospect. It's super intriguing because you can't just rely on your athleticism. It makes you have to be good at the game. Physicals, we're going to max everything out until we get to stamina, and that's going to get to an 85. But look at that, 99 strength on a prospect. And part of the reason why you get 99 strength is because you can't allocate certain attributes to other things or it changes the name. So this is like actually a great thing on this build, but it's necessary to get this name because you'd have these extra attributes that would change the name to something else. But a 99 strength, 99 standing deep, 99 standing dunk, and a 99 block make this build playable for sure. If you're going to be that junkyard Jerome Williams, like I said, that Matt Geiger, that Malik Rose, that Scott Williams, that Bill Wennington, that Bill Lambier, you need those junkyard dogs on your team. And with a lot of dribble gods in this era and everyone wants to be a scorer, this is potentially a really fun build to just be a fifth option. But your job on the team is not to score, it's not to play make, it's to just do the dirty work. And that could be really fun and, take away any expectations. And no one's going to have any expectations for you because you're a prospect. You're like a 16-year-old that got thrust in the NBA through an ABA-NBA merger. And so going to the takeovers on this build, I was already in here doing my interior big, so I just made another video off that. But you get shot creating take, shooting, playmaking, and interior defense. A shot creating prospect. Let's do double shot creator. That's kind of ridiculously intriguing, but there you have it. The prospect at 6'11", center. You're gonna be Kwame Brown, Ronnie Turioff, Popeye Jones. You got some killers that made the league and will be unforgotten in the annals of NBA history. But who has the plums to get on this build? Let me know in the comments below. Probably nobody. What do y'all think about this build? You know what time it is, Quest Sparrow.